Hey there, everybody. Joe here. Got another show for you today. We're going to just kind of jump right into this. There is some audio that has come out. Let me adjust my mic again. Whenever I turn my head to look at the screen, it makes me sound worse on the like you can't hear me. So let me do this. This cost of having a directional microphone now, I guess. We've had some new audio come out. This is from January 11th, which would have been yesterday. This is just coming across my screen. I'm actually muting leftist idiots at this point who cry all the time so that I can see more of what I need to see for my show, basically, is what's happening. Because, X, they promote the left. So here, this is what Ilhan Omar had to say here. There are no violent riots in Minnesota like you wanted. The only violence we have seen is from your agents terrorizing people. Our neighbors are showing up with love and protection for one another. Love and compassion has always been our North Star. And if you believe that, I've got some beachfront property to sell you in Death Valley. So here you go. This is the new leaked audio that came out yesterday from Maze Moore. Take a listen to this audio and do with that what you will. I do believe the incident on the screen, as you can see from CBS Minnesota, is where this call, this 911 call, comes from. So let's take a look.
Officers get attacked. They're surrounded and they're being attacked. We only have a few officers, but we have, what did they say, 60 to 70 agitators that are fighting them. So we need help.
This group is getting larger here, and they're chasing after ICE.
This operation turned chaotic fast. Protesters throwing snowballs and shouting. One agent swinging a baton before ending up on the ground. The standoff reached a breaking point, leading to this call for help.
We only have a few officers, but we have, what did they say, 60 to 70 agitators that are fighting them. They're not answering their phone now, so I don't know if they got knocked out or what, but we need help.
ICE says officers sustained multiple injuries, including cuts. Local police did not find it necessary to intervene.
Officers get attacked.
And there you have it. That is what they've been facing on the ground in Minnesota with the love and protection and compassion from, as she puts it, from these violent rioters, many of who are not even from Minnesota. There's been an outpouring of Minnesotans who actually live in Minnesota who are tired of this behavior and tired of the illegals and tired of the fraud. So there's more people on ICE's side than what they want you to think. But I mean, here's just another example. This is from yesterday from Andy No. Look at what's going on the ground.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Go! Get the fuck outside!
And again, Andy No calls him far left. I want to point out that these aren't far left. This is just the left, guys. This is the left now. And he points out rightfully that Democrat elected officials have been encouraging the extremism. It's not extremists. It's not. This is Democrats. This is who they are. This is who they've always been. They've always used terrorism as a weapon for politics. KKK ring a bell for anybody?
Back it up! You back up! You back! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! That's fine. Unnecessary force. Come on. Quit your job.
All right, and that goes on for like another almost 6 minutes, as you can see. And, here's another example. This is from... This is the same thing, my bad. This is from January 11th, the day before what we just watched.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Back up! Back up! Back up! Hey!
So he was blocking their operations. I can't say this enough. I said this on my weekly catch-up show that I do privately on Sundays. I don't know who's training. Well, we kind of know, and I'll get to that. But the people that are telling these people to go do this thing, they're even Democrat officials and politicians and people, news mouthpieces and all this and that are saying they're informing these people that they cannot arrest Americans. They can. If you block, impede, intimidate, harass, attack ICE officers, it doesn't matter if you're a U.S. citizen, they can arrest you. And I think these people don't understand that because they're not being told that. So that is a law. You can look it up. So they're finding out. They're effing around. They're FAFO-ing, let's say. I mean, and I'm here for it. I'm here to see it because this is what needs to happen. A, it's dwindling their lunatic base who are legal to vote, most likely. B, find out. You know what I'm saying? Learn a lesson. So let's take a look at this.
Back up! Hey, put one more together. Don't take all the people. Back up. Back up. Back up.
That's Bovino right there. He's badass. By the way, if you have X, follow Greg Bovino, man. He is ratioing these people. They'll get, a couple thousand likes. He'll get double, triple, quadruple the amount of likes when he replies to these idiots. It's funny.
Back up. Back up. Tough guy. Back up. Back up.
Back up. One more. You go back there, I'm gonna put you under arrest. One more. You get back there one more time. Back up. Back up.
Give him your hand. Give him your hand. Now. Give him your hand.
Do you see how dramatic these people are? They literally are breaking federal laws when they do these things. And then when there's consequences, everybody melts. Oh, we're supposed to just be able to get away with doing this illegal shit. That's what we're allowed to do. You guys aren't. You guys on the right aren't allowed to do it. Only we are. Because that's how it's gone for a very long time. And to some degree, under Trump even. The first time. So I'm glad to see that the federal government is now a branch of government, the branch of government that is actually exercising its rights under the laws that Congress, by the way, have created for them. Nothing but car horns, rape whistling, and whining. That's a federal arrest, by the way. That's a federal arrest. This isn't local PD who are going to, stroke the guy and then let him out of the cell back onto the streets to do this all over again the next day. And there you have it. So that's pretty much done there. But then we've got this. This is another example. This is from January 11th.
Out of here.
Yesterday.
Get the fuck out of here.
We hate you!
Fucking
Fucking
Hitting the car, blocking the car.
Get the fuck out of here! Fucking leave! Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here! We hate you! We hate you! We hate you!
Pepper spray. And she ran into the truck. Oh, that's awesome. There you have it. Like they're doing what they need to do to carry out operations with all these lunatics. Now, last night, Nick Sorter was on the ground in Minneapolis like anyone else. and some things went down, and we need to cover this. I know I said I wasn't going to cover these lunatics again, but things are happening. I also said if anything new happens, I got to cover it. Now, keep in mind, these protests, all this stuff, which I'll get to here in a bit, are covering for what's really happening in Minnesota, which is the fraud. They want you to see the protests and ignore the fraud. But I have to show you what's happening on the ground no matter what, I feel like, because it is still news, right? But from now on, when I do so, there's going to be fraud somewhere in this show when I talk about these retards, because at the end of the day, this needs to be covered both sides. So last night, Nick Sorter and Cam Higbee were down on the ground in Minnesota filming. This is what happened. They were attacked by a leftist streamer named Mercado. He's got a YouTube channel on YouTube here. He's a leftist. He's an agitator. He's an insurrectionist. He pretends to be a reporter. He said he was forced to drive away to save our lives, repeatedly warning those standing in front to get out of the way. They didn't listen, so I had no choice but to go anyway. Then they used vehicles to block us, and as we were running, forcing me to throw a truck off the road and to go around them. And then he says, then it appears we were chased down the interstate by another one of their goons. I have to post this now because these idiots called the police on me saying that I had a gun and was running innocent protest over. You can try to terrorize me all you want, but I will never stop and never shut up. So here you go. Let's take a look. All I hear is the laughs and the screaming from people who are on psych meds. And you notice they have no problem wearing masks themselves. It's only ICE that they don't think should wear masks. Just insane demons.
Cute.
Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
This is the peaceful stuff that you heard Ilhan Omar say is happening on the ground. They're being peaceful, guys. Totally peaceful. So there you have it. And then he points out here, the peaceful protesters are at it again, surrounding my vehicle, blah, 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 telling Cam Higbee they're going to kill us. We are safe, but police have detained the riders, not shutting up, he says again while sharing the video. And this is what they were pelting the car with right here.
Yeah, so just so everybody knows here, so you have these frozen water bottles.
We saw this in 2016 as well. They would use these in bottles of pee. I've been telling you guys this over and over. This started on January 20th, 2017, when Trump took office. They were pelting people with these in the streets, and it carried on for 4 years.
Yeah, so just so everybody knows here, so you have these frozen water bottles. These are the two that you saw. They threw through. Right there and right there. Luckily, there were headrests in the way. If these things...
There's a spray paint can too.
Oh, yeah. This is used right here. Actually, there might be fingerprints on that one. Yeah, leave that one. Actually, we need to bag that one up. But anyway, yeah, so these are frozen solid. Still, hours later. And if they were to have gone through, if I would not have driven away, they would have thrown them through and they would have hit us straight in the head. And we both may not be here to, but we found these in the truck later. After we drove away, we ran to the Egon police station. Yeah, so just so everybody knows.
And then this is also what's going on beforehand. This is, you can see the guy I told you about, Mercado Media, the soy boy leftist who tries to act tough.
You know what I'm thinking of doing with my media, guys? All the right-wing propagandists harassing the fuck out of them. I'm talking tracking where they're at, and then just literally following them with a feed. They can't fight, so they'll have security, but that's fine. security will have to earn their paycheck that day.
And what he means by they can't fight, he means he knows that they'll get arrested if they do fight, just almost always.
But I think we should just, any of these right-wing, like Nick Shirley's, we have to follow them around.
You do realize this is fascism. That's the funniest thing about all this. They scream fascist while being the fascist. Only left. See, he calls them far left again. This is just the left, guys. Anyway, so this is fascism. Only us leftists on the ground reporters should be allowed to be here. We can't allow the other side to share an opposing view to what we're saying and counter what we're saying somewhere else in the city. We cannot allow that. So let's follow them and attack them. Like I said, he was involved with what you saw down on the ground over there just a minute ago.
Cam Higbee, Nick Shirley, fucking the whole Antifa roundtable journalist bullshit. All of them. They need to not be able to move without the entire country in which people are against Trump know where they're at.
I hate to break it to this guy, but the entire country isn't against Trump. Most people support Trump. The majority of the country supports Trump. And ICE operations.
Agenda Free reported it. Mercado Media did.
All right, and then this is him pointing out. He just says leftist finally. All right, there we go. Threatens violence against Nick Sorter. This is the video.
Fucking woman again. I am not fucking hit a woman. And I'm gonna help you. I don't know what. I'll get the whole fucking state down here. I swear to God, I will. Yeah, Minnesota coming. You're not playing. Yeah. You shut up, Cam. You can come out and get some too, Cam. Oh God. Get the fuck out of here. You can come get some too. Touch Andrew. See what happens. See what happens. See what the fuck happens.
There you see he's a little bitch.
Get the fuck out of here. That's what you need to do.
Real tough when he's surrounded by his little insurrectionists
Look at you, you're a fucking
and fascists.
Yeah, you hit a woman. That's what they do, bro. They hit women, bro. Fucking woman again. I am not.
And people are pointing out that this could have violated some interstate telecommunications laws. Here's the tank that they were, the land whale that assaulted him first, so he went back at him. Here's the incident. Pretty sure that's actually a dude. See, they're trying to take their shit. That is law enforcement interfering. Well, not interfering, but trying to break it up. And that's how violent these people are. So this is Andrew Mercado. He's thinking he should be able to get away with this by apologizing. I should not have lost my cool tonight, no matter how tough it gets. I'm sleep deprived, managing PTSD. Very little food, water, because federal agents murdered one of my fellow Minnesotans. MAGA agitators are best dealt with by ignoring them. It's difficult for me as a man to watch the same few agitators go from city to city hitting women and instigating fights. Yeah. Well, maybe your land whale shouldn't be hitting them. This is Andrew Mercado, who also goes city to city and films just like they do. He just thinks he's in the right and they're not, because he surrounds himself with insurrectionist terrorists, homegrown terrorists, and he aligns with them. The other guys are just guys down on the ground filming what these idiots do, and they hate it. So Nick Sorter replies back, lawyer up, dumb F. So yeah, and then we've got this. This has come out now. Minnesota Ice Watch, which the woman, the insurrectionist lesbian who was shot, was part of. The extremist Open Borders group that Renee Good was associated with posted Antifa guide instructions on committing crimes. The posts were shared on Instagram, which, in addition to Blue Sky, has become the preferred place to organize for violence. The instructions show that rioters can assault law enforcement to get them to release the suspect, and it shows a picture of it here. So there you have it. I mean, they're just a bunch of terrorists, guys. And this is what they're trying to cover up right here. This is Scott Bessent on what the corrupt cowards and the administration there in Minnesota had done. He needs to go there to investigate the fraud for the federal end. And this is what he says happened.
But one curious detail. This interview was originally scheduled for the Minnesota State Capitol. Can you explain why that didn't come to pass and why we're here?
For one reason, Chris, Tim Walz is a coward. He is a coward. He would not guarantee that the Treasury Secretary of the United States of America would have police protection in the Minnesota State Capitol.
Now, keep in mind, these are the same people. These leaders are the same people who don't want their police to work with ICE, with the federal government, to carry out operations, which puts ICE out on the street rather than just being able to come in and get criminals out of prison or from where they were released to from the prison and things like that. They refuse to work for the federal government or work with the federal government. But now they want the federal government to, for some reason, do something they normally don't even have to do and work with local officials on the shooting. But then at the same time, they're denying police protection to the Treasury Secretary. Do you see how these people are?
He is afraid of what is coming, and he's not going to be able to hide behind this curtain.
In other words, nothing can stop what is coming.
Because we will get there, and I don't have to go in the Capitol building to investigate him. I would love for him to come to Treasury and answer some questions. I can guarantee you that he will be safe and sound then, depending on what we discover. I don't know about his future. And as I said earlier, that will be the only view of the Oval Office he ever gets. Because let's just think about the long arc of history. The suppression of this story is this guy got to within could have been one heartbeat away from being president of the United States. And when we don't have a functioning mainstream media and great independent journalists like you, citizen journalists who go out and do the investigative work, because the people who are supposed to be doing it don't do it anymore.
Bingo. And then this, you may not have heard about this. On December 10th, this was from December 10th of last year, whistleblower worked with MSP Airport in St. Paul says she witnessed Somali men in pairs go through the airport with suitcases full of cash. Listen to what she has to say and then watch what's next.
2016 to 2021. Liz, thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you, Liz. I applaud you and Alpha News.
We appreciate that. I have to say, though, this sounds like something out of a spy movie. People going through security and getting on planes with suitcases filled with millions of dollars in cash. Tell us what you've actually seen as a TSA agent during the time you worked there.
Well, I've actually seen a lot of things, but the most shocking is exactly that. I saw suitcases filled with millions of dollars of cash.
And right, and that's all we need to hear. We don't really, I mean, if you want to see more, this is just type suitcases full of cash or Chicago Ray, search his wall on there. But you get the gist. Suitcases full of cash. Now, fast forward to right now. This is from January 10th, 12th, if I could read, 2026. This is recent. FBI is investigating something here. Let's listen.
Authorities have discovered suitcases containing hundreds of millions of dollars in a Minnesota airport. Now, in the meantime, Republicans are working to cut funding for Somali-led organizations with alleged ties to the massive fraud scandal. Now, as the FBI pushes forward with its own investigation, one key question arises. What does accountability even look like in this case moving forward? So joining us now to talk about all of this and more is New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. Congresswoman, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Great to be on with you, too. What a crazy time we're seeing here, aren't we?
Absolutely insanity. And
this, by the way, is most likely happening in New York as well.
No oversight in the House is looking into these fraud allegations, but I wonder if it's even bigger than we have uncovered thus far. The $700 million in cash going out of the airports there. I have a feeling we are still just scratching the surface.
Yeah, it looks really bad, and obviously very alarming to see that this U.S. cash has been legally going through our airports. And of course, there is a requirement of reporting if you're going to carry more than $10,000. There's a reporting requirement, but I think a really interesting part about this is if, isn't it going to be a little suspicious when you start seeing 10,000, 100,000, millions, and now, more, as John reported earlier, more money that goes through JFK, goes through the Minneapolis airport. Something's wrong there. And I think something that's very interesting that we impose on banks is that banks are required under banking law to require and file and keep track of what they call suspicious activity reports. This is something I think we need to do now when we see the large amounts of U.S. cash, and it's always U.S. cash. I mean, you're not going to see, Chinese yen or anything else going through there.
So what you're seeing is Somalis ripping off every program that we have in not only Maine, but Minnesota, I'm guessing Chicago, California, probably in Michigan, probably almost every state. You've got Haitians ripping off social programs. We've seen that in, I think, Philadelphia and a few other places. All these refugees that they've brought in are just screwing the American taxpayer. And you're supposed to sit back and be quiet because otherwise you're racist. And that's where we're really at. Anyway, guys, that's what's going on. That's the up-to-date situation. It looks like the fraud is growing, and expect probably a few more videos from me this week because there's a lot to talk about. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.